Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
The show that set the precedent for I Love Lucy, My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille-Ball, with Richard Denning as her husband. This episode originally broadcast on April 15th, 1945, as Liz tries to learn to ride horseback.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Jello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Brought to you by the Jello family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jello family. That's Jello.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jello tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. As we look in on the Coopers, we find Katie the maid serving Liz her breakfast. George is upstairs getting into his riding habit, as this is the day he meets with his weekly horseback riding club.
More toast, Mrs. Cooper?
No thanks, Katie.
It's none of my business, I guess, but Mr. Cooper goes horseback riding every week. Why don't you ever go with him?
Well, it's a long story, Katie.
Are you afraid of horses?
Terrified. Oh, Katie, it's dreadful. I'm even afraid of a Charlie horse.
Why, Mrs. Cooper.
Well, I have good reason. I took a terrible fall when I was a child.
Did you get thrown?
Oh, it was awful. The horse didn't know what he was doing. He was jumping up and down and racing around, and finally I fell off.
Was it serious?
Serious. They had to stop the merry-go-round. It's funny how those things stick to you from childhood.
Morning, dear.
Oh, good morning, George.
Katie, I think I'll have time for a cup of coffee before I go.
I'll get it, Mr. Cooper.
Let me look at you, George. Oh. Did anyone ever tell you that you look handsome in riding clothes?
Do you think I do?
No, I just wanted to know if anyone ever told you.
Well, thanks a lot.
George, you really do look wonderful. And I love you so much, I'm going to drive you to the stables all by myself.
Well, thanks just the same, dear, but one of the club members is stopping by for me.
Oh? Which one of the fellas is it? Bill Curry? Mike Masterson?
No, Audrey Peters.
Well, she's a nice fellow.
Well, she's coming by so we can talk on the way out.
Oh, well, that's interesting. What about?
Didn't I tell you? Audrey and I are co-chairmen for the breakfast ride next weekend.
No, you didn't tell me. What else haven't you told me?
Nothing. Well, what do you mean?
I thought maybe you were getting saddles marked his and hers.
Why, Liz Cooper, you're jealous.
Ha! I just don't see why you have to ride out with her. Why can't you talk business when you're on the horses?
Oh, what difference does it make?
Plenty. The horses can't run out of gas.
Liz, you're just being silly.
Go ahead. Spend your Saturday mornings with Miss Musclebound.
Yeah. I only wish you were more of the athletic type.
Why, George Cooper, you're sorry you married me.
I am not. I didn't say that.
You might just as well have. You said you wish you were married to the athletic type.
Oh, now, Liz.
I can see the wedding now. The bride looked lovely in jodhpurs and a white lace sweatshirt.
Now, stop that.
Just before the wedding, her friends gave her a shower and a rub-down.
Now, that's enough. Oh, gee, Liz, if only you weren't afraid of horses, we could have so much fun together.
Well, I can't help it. Horses don't like me.
Well, they just know you're afraid. You've got to treat a horse like a friend. Make him know you like him.
What do you want me to do, shake him by the hoof and offer him a cigar?
Oh, what's the use?
Well, that must be Muscles. I mean Audrey.
I'll get the door.
Do you have to leave right away, or can Audrey come in and have a glass of Absorbine Jr.?
Now, Liz, behave yourself.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I'll be nice to the old... Hello, Audrey, dear.
Hi, Audrey.
George, darling. Hello, Liz. Audrey, I haven't seen you for such a long time. Pull up a ligament and sit down.
You don't mind my stealing your husband away like this, do you, dear?
Of course not. I can't think of anyone I'd rather trust him with. I envy you, Audrey. How do you keep your figure looking like that? So firm and solid.
Oh, no, dear. You're the one to be envied. You're so feminine and flabby.
Well, we'd better get going, Audrey.
Oh, why don't you go with us, Liz? Are you afraid of horses?
No, dear. I'm allergic to cats. It is too bad I won't get to see you ride, though. George says you look like part of the horse.
Really?
I was telling Liz what a wonderful rider you are. Would you believe it, Liz? Audrey has been riding since she was a child, and she never lost her seat.
Believe it, I can see it.
Well, yoicks and away.
What?
He said yoicks and away. It's a horse riding term. Well, goodbye, Liz.
Goodbye, you yoicks. Oh, and George, don't let the old nag throw you. The one at the stable, I mean. Katie, come here a minute.
Oh, what is it, Mrs. Cooper?
Katie, you are looking at a woman who is going to learn to ride a horse.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to see some riding clothes, please.
Oh, a habit?
Not yet. I'm just starting.
I was referring to a riding habit. That's what we call the clothes you wear.
Oh.
Now, what about the horse?
Oh, I don't think he's going to wear anything.
I mean, what kind of a horse? But you wouldn't know. I'll just show you some English riding clothes. You take about a 12 coat and, how big are you around the withers? I mean the hips.
I'm 36 inches around the withers and 7 inches around the fetlocks.
Well, you don't have to get nasty.
Sorry.
Now, here's a pair of the latest things in riding breeches. They have a built-in pillow. Something tells me you'll need those in the beginning.
Something tells me I'll need them more at the end.
Very good. Here's the coat. Now, how about the hat? A nice derby is smart.
Oh, no, a derby's too fancy for me.
A silk hat, perhaps? Very popular at horse shows this year.
No, this is just an early morning ride before breakfast.
Well, then how about a kimono and curlers?
I do not find you very amusing. We can dispense with a hat. What else do I need?
Would you like to see some boots?
No, I plan to ride barefoot.
You know, I believe it.
Oh, show me some boots. Size 6.
6? You'd better take a 7.
6.
It's better to get 'em roomy.
6.
Sometimes your feet swell.
6.
You'll be happier with a 7.
I want boots, not boats.
All right, but don't say I didn't warn you. Now, do you want to take these things with you?
No, keep them here. I'll bring the horse down and ride him around the store. Hello. Are you Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, ma'am. Reckon I am. Most folks just call me little old Lloyd, though.
Well, little old Lloyd, I'm Mrs. George Cooper.
Oh, your husband's one of our best customers. There's nothing he likes better than the spirited filly.
I know. That's why I have to take riding lessons.
Oh, lessons? Are you all just a beginner?
Well, I guess you'd call me that.
What kind of a horse do you all want? Do you like to gallop, trot, walk?
Have you got one that crawls on its knees?
Don't worry, Miss Cooper. We got just the horse for you. Gulliver.
Well, to tell the truth, Lloyd, I'm afraid of horses.
Oh, man, you don't have to worry about Gulliver. You can't fall off of him. He's so sway-backed your feet touch the ground.
Really?
I swear. If you feel yourself falling, you just stand up and he walks right out from under you.
Well, he sounds pretty good. Does he bite?
Bite? Miss Cooper, you know you tell a horse's age by his teeth?
Yes.
Nobody can tell how old Gulliver is.
No teeth?
Not a one. He's even too weak to gum his oats anymore.
Well, that's a steed for me. Wheel him out.
Okay, boys, trot Gulliver out. Here he comes.
Speedy critter, isn't he?
That's his gallop.
Oh, he's charging right at me.
Now, Miss Cooper, surely you all aren't afraid of this animal, are you all?
He all's a horse all, ain't he all?
Well, I reckon he is. Stroke his nose and get friendly.
Well, hello, Gulliver.
Would you like to get up on him, Miss Cooper?
Well, I guess I might as well.
I'll help you.
No, thanks. I can get on by myself, at least.
But, Miss Cooper...
Any fool can get on a horse. There. Lloyd! What happened to his head?
You got on backwards, Miss Cooper.
Oh, well, what do I do now?
Well, if you like, you can leap up in the air and I'll turn him around underneath you.
Oh, thanks. I can manage, I guess. There, that's better.
Well, you're facing the right way, but your legs shouldn't both be on the same side of the horse.
Oh.
Giddy up, Gulliver.
Giddy up, Gulliver.
Doggone, he's asleep again. Come on, boy. We got to teach this lady how to ride.
Yeah, come on, boy.
Here we go. Now, see if you can walk him once around the ring without falling off.
Good morning, Lloyd. Here I am, ready for my next lesson.
Morning, Miss Cooper. You know, the strangest thing's going on around here.
What?
Well, Gulliver's been acting mopey and sick ever since you left the other day. But the minute you come in sight just now, he got frisky as a colt. I think he's got a crush on you.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I mean it. Look at the way he looks at you.
Gosh, I haven't seen a look like that since the first time George saw me in a bathing suit. Well, I'm flattered, Gulliver, but it's a May and December affair. I'm too young for you. See, look at my teeth. Oh, well, don't take it so hard. I'll be a big sister to you.
All right, Miss Cooper, up you go. Now, let's see. This is your second lesson, isn't it?
Third. Tell me honestly, Lloyd, how am I doing?
Real good. You're making progress.
Really?
Tell you what I want you to do today.
What?
See if you can walk him once around the ring without falling off.
Morning, Lloyd.
Morning, Miss Cooper.
How's Gulliver?
Bad. He won't eat when you're not here. Won't even stay in the stall. Just sits out in the corral and whinnies at the moon.
Oh, the poor old fella.
Yeah, no kidding, Miss Cooper. This romance is costing me money. Gulliver won't let anybody ride him but you.
That's what I like, loyalty. Well, this is my sixth lesson, Lloyd, the last one in the course. What are you going to teach me today?
Well, seeing as it's the last lesson, see if you can walk him once around the ring without falling off.
Well, Lloyd, here I am, all ready for my 12th lesson.
Good. Now, today, Miss Cooper, I want you...
Wait a minute. I know what you're going to say. I'll have you know I just got through walking once around the ring.
Well, good for you.
Now bring out Gulliver and I'll try it with a horse. Oh, Katie, I'm so excited. I wish Audrey would call for George and get him out of here.
Why are you so anxious to send him on that breakfast ride with another woman?
Because I'm going along, too.
You are?
Yes, it's a big surprise. I've had 15 lessons, and Lloyd said I ride well enough to go. He said that I have exceptional talent.
Did he really say that?
Well, not in those words, but he said he never hopes to see another person who rides like I do. I wonder how he meant that.
When are you going to tell Mr. Cooper?
I'm not. I'm going to wait till they're having breakfast out in the country, and then I'll make a grand entrance and come galloping into the crowd.
Oh, wonderful. Shh, here he comes.
Well, Liz, I'm off.
Oh, I wish I were going with you, darling.
Well, so do I, but you're such a scaredy cat. Oh, there's Audrey. I better go.
Yes, she mustn't keep her broomstick running.
Never mind. Give me a kiss.
All right. There. Now go on. Go to your breakfast ride.
Do I have to? Well, goodbye, dear.
April 15th, 1949, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Hi, this is Kyle Horvath with the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. If you want to get away from the big cities and get back to nature this summer, give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net. There's so much to do and see I can't mention it in 30 seconds, but check out our website and you'll see what Nevada is really all about. elinevada.net or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net.
You clean everything else in your house, why don't you clean the air? It's easy to do with an Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. They're under $200 for a 3-pack. You can put one in the kitchen, you can put one in the living room, you can put one in that room that you always flush. Go to EdenPureDeals.com, put in my promo code CLASSIC3 and you'll save $200. EdenPureDeals.com, discount code CLASSIC3 and you'll also get free shipping. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, April 15th, 1949.
Well, George is out on a breakfast ride with his horseback riding club, and Liz, to surprise him, has secretly learned to ride and is going to make a grand entrance by galloping up to the group as they're eating breakfast. She and her instructor are approaching the spot now.
My, it's been a lovely ride out here, Lloyd.
Mighty pretty country.
Well, I think we're close enough. I'll ride the rest of the way by myself. Let's get out of the car and let Gulliver out of the trailer.
Yes, ma'am. I think you can make it from here. They're having breakfast about a half mile down that road.
Well, I'm glad it isn't any further than that. I could never have ridden 10 miles like the rest of the group.
You and Gulliver both. Come on, boy. Open those big blue eyes and get ready to tote this lady to her destination.
Well, here goes. Oh, I can hardly wait to see George's face when I ride in.
Good luck, Miss Cooper.
Thanks. Goodbye, Lloyd. Hi-ho, Gulliver! Gulliver, hi-ho. Well, what happened?
I'll give him a nudge. Hang on tight now.
I am.
That safety pin makes him move every time.
Nice work, Gulliver. We made it. They should be right around this bend. Hi, everybody. Here I am. Oh.
Looking for somebody, lady?
Where is everyone?
Nobody here but us chipmunks.
But I thought the breakfast ride was supposed
Oh, them riders. They was here, but it was such a pretty day, they decided to go on another 10 miles to Hickory Falls.
They didn't.
Okay, they didn't. Now I don't know where they went.
You mean I've got to ride 10 miles to catch up with them?
The next 10 won't be no tougher on you than the 10 you already come.
That's what you think.
Beautiful country, uphill all the way.
Oh, well, come on, Gulliver. Let's travel. Oh, we're finally here, Gulliver. I can't go another step.
Hold it, lady. Don't get off in that horse.
What?
I said don't get off in that horse.
What'll happen if and I get off in it?
Same thing happened to them riders by here a while ago.
Oh, now don't tell me they're not here either.
They was here, but I chased them off.
Oh.
I heard them say they was going to have breakfast up on the hill at Buzzard's Roost.
Why couldn't they have eaten here?
They was trespassing on my property. I fined the kit and caboodle $10 apiece.
Ha ha! $10 apiece.
Yes,
oh, that's wonderful.
April 15th, 1949. Lucille Ball, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, April 15th, 1949.
Serves them right.
Yes, it sure does. $10, please.
Now, wait a minute. You don't have any signs up. That's not fair.
I know, but sakes alive, how the money rolls in.
Oh, here. I haven't got the strength to argue. Come on, Gulliver. Let's go. On to Buzzard's Roost. Whoa, Gulliver. Whoa. I think we're lost. Oh, there's a farmer. Hey, mister, where am I?
Same place you was this morning, lady.
Oh, no, not right back where I started from.
Yes? And I could have sworn someone rang the bell.
I'm down here, Katie.
Mrs. Cooper, what are you doing on your hands and knees?
They're the only part of me that's not blistered.
Oh, you poor thing. Let me help you in.
Oh,
come over here and sit down.
All right. Oh, I think I'll stand.
Well, what happened?
Oh, Katie, what a wild ride. I felt like Paul Revere. Come to think of it, we probably had the same horse.
What did Mr. Cooper say when you rode in?
Katie, I never caught up with him.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper.
Pull these boots off for me, will you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Give me your foot.
What's the matter?
Well, it won't come off.
Well, pull harder.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, I think your feet are swollen. I can't get your boots off at all.
But I have to get them off.
It's no use, Mrs. Cooper. I can't even budge them.
Well, what about my feet?
Maybe I could cut them off with a knife. Katie! I meant the boots.
Oh.
I think there's some special trick to getting riding boots off. Now, why don't you go down to the store and get the salesman to help you?
Well, I guess I'll have to. Oh, and Katie, if I don't come back, tell George I died with my boots on.
Well, Mrs. Cooper, good to see you again. How are the boots?
I can't get them off.
Well, I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen.
All right, I was wrong. I admit it.
I told you so. I told you so.
Do you think you could stop gloating long enough to help me get my boots off?
All right, just sit down there, and I'll take care of it right away.
Don't be too sure.
Oh, it's all in knowing how, Mrs. Cooper. I'll have them off in the twinkling of an eye.
Twinkle, twinkle, little eye, how I wonder...
Never mind. I'll get these boots off. No boots are going to make a fool out of me.
Wait a minute, my knee doesn't bend upward.
I know what we'll do. I'll turn my back on you.
Well, that ought to fix everything.
I will turn my back and grasp one boot with my hands between my knees. You take your other boot and push on my back.
Then I take the ball and run around left end for a touchdown.
Do you want these boots off or not?
Well, must we do it right here in front of the window?
Yes. Now give me your foot. Now I'll pull and you push.
Okay. You now have one of my boots. Would you like to try for two? Are you all right? Say something.
Is that you, Mrs. Cooper?
Yes, Katie.
Did you get the boots off?
Yes, look how swollen my feet are. My legs look like two thermometers. Is Mr. Cooper home yet?
No.
That's funny. I wonder what's keeping him so late.
Maybe Miss Biceps threw a shoe. And I'll get you a pan of hot water for your feet.
Thank you, Katie.
Hi, honey.
Hello, George.
Boy, what a day this has been.
Amen. What took you so long?
Well, I would have been home sooner, but I had to take Audrey to the doctor's. A horse threw her.
Well, the great Audrey got thrown.
Yeah, the funny part of it was she just got on him for a gag. Some old broken-down horse with a sway back and all.
No! Oh, no! His name wasn't Gulliver.
Well, how did you know?
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll have to send over a nice bouquet of flowers.
Oh, Audrey will appreciate that.
Who said anything about Audrey? I'm going to send them for the horse.
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rorick. Tonight's program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The part of Katie the Maid was played by Ruth Parrott. Lucille Ball will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Sorrowful Jones. Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband next week. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS.
April 15th, 1949, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast April 15th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Dum 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 bum 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 la 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 la. David, what time will we leave for Eastbrook tomorrow?
I have to be in the office all day, but I'll try to get through early so we can get up there before dark.
Oh, I've never seen Eastbrook in the dark.
It's just the way it is in the bright, except you can't see it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Only I can't imagine. Will it be very quiet and still, or...
Oh, it'll be shouting tomorrow night.
What'll be?
Frogs and crickets.
In April already?
This April they will be. They'll be shouting, "Welcome to Eastbrook, Mr. and Mrs. Norton."
Silly. What about the birds? Aren't they going to say anything?
The birds? Oh, of course. The birds will say,
That's lovely. What does it mean, David?
Means? One of them saying, "We're all very glad to see you."
Oh, and another is saying, "Glad you were in a thrush to get here."
And the biggest and wisest bird of all is saying, "What a lark! What a lark! What a lark!"
Oh, darling.
Seriously. Now that the time's come, how do you feel about it?
Well, it's sort of going to be like beginning all over again, isn't it? And I've never hoed a field before, or milked a cow, or... What other animals are we going to have? Chickens?
Oh, of course.
Pigs?
Sows.
Sows what?
A sow, Mrs. Norton, is a female pig.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she is?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know? Say, David, you know animals are amazing. There's a female for every kind.
What's so amazing about that?
I mean, the name is different. A cow and a bull, a hen and a rooster, a sow and a pig.
A boar?
Who's a boar?
A male pig.
He is, why?
That's what he's called.
Well, that's not very nice. Does the sow think he's a boar, too?
You'll have to ask her.
I will.
Darling, before you do, he's spelled B-O-A-R, not B-O-R-E.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Then there's a mare and a horse.
Stallion.
Stallion? What's a stallion?
A male horse.
You see what I mean? I thought he was just a horse. It's much more complicated than people. We're only men and women.
And boys and girls and spinsters and bachelors and aunts.
Well,
and uncles.
somehow it's not as complicated.
Ask any horse. He'll tell you it's much more complicated.
Nope, he'll say nay, nay.
Ooh. And now and then I fear me that nature is going to have a terrible influence on you.
Well, we'll soon find out. And from now on, I'm going to look ahead, never back.
Darling, you're not afraid to look back, are you?
That's the phone.
Saved by the bell.
Who do you suppose?
Mama.
That's my line. Besides, it isn't. She's too busy packing to call her. David, you were sweet to convince her to come with us.
I am as sweet as sugar.
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Norton. Who'd you say? Mrs. Lansing. Oh, you mean Patricia Lansing's mother? Well, hello.
Who's Patricia Lansing?
She was in dramatic school with me. Tonight? At the Circle Theater.
What about the Circle Theater?
Well, that's wonderful. I didn't know she was in a play.
Patricia's at the Circle Theater tonight?
And there are 2 tickets for us at the box office. Well, that's very sweet of you, but
Take them.
But I don't think I want to go.
Of course you do, darling. You know you love the theater, the opening nights especially.
Well, hello, Mrs. Lansing. I guess we can go after all. They'll be in the box office in our names. Well, thank you. Oh, yes, of course we'll see you backstage afterwards. Goodbye. Oh, and wish Pat good luck for me, would you? Pat has the ingenue lead in Strange Harbor opening tonight. Funny I didn't know anything about it.
With everything you've had to do, it's no wonder.
When we were at dramatic school, Pat and I used to audition for the same part.
And I'll bet you won every time.
I wish I had.
Oh. Well, darling, if we're going to make the curtain, we'd better hurry.
Yeah, I suppose we had.
We have about 25 minutes to get there. We have to dress. That doesn't leave us much time.
This was the last thing on earth I expected tonight. I thought you and I would just...
I think it's a perfect way of celebrating our last evening in New York. Because an opening night in New York, well, it's New York at its best. It will leave a last delicious parting taste.
Oh, darling, I'd never forget how it tastes.
Well, that was a pretty exciting play, don't you think?
David, is there anything as exciting as when the lights dim and the audience quiets and the curtain goes up? I could feel the blood pounding in my ears. If it had been me instead of Pat, I would have been so nervous I just could never have gotten from the wings onto the stage.
Oh, you'd have made it.
No, I wouldn't have.
Well, we're out of the mob anyway. Now, how do we get to the backstage entrance?
You want to go backstage?
Don't you?
Oh, I don't think so.
Why not? It's the least we can do after Pat's given us the tickets.
Well, I'll write her a note in the morning. Unless you really
Didn't
want...
you know I was a frustrated stage door Johnny?
I knew. Maybe that's why you married me. You stole me right out of dramatic school, remember?
And what the theater lost, I gained. I shouldn't think the theater would ever forgive me.
The theater doesn't even know the difference.
Poor thing.
I remember we rehearsed a play here once. The stage is very deep, and the dressing rooms are lovely.
I love backstage.
Oh, so do I. I think it's the most exciting place in the world. Oh, David, there'll be mobs, and Pat won't really know whether we've come back or not. I suppose she'll go to Hollywood. Funny, when we were at dramatic school together, we used to kid about it. And we were going to be roommates.
Now, I'm your roommate, so I wish you wouldn't look so sad about it.
I'm glad.
Now, here we are.
Come in, whoever you are. I'm just changing, but you can come in.
It's only us, Pat. We came to...
Oh, Claudia, you darling. I'm so glad you came back.
Pat, this is my husband, David Norton.
Oh, Mr. Norton. Or may I call you David? Hello.
David, by all means.
And you were wonderful tonight. You were just wonderful.
Oh, was I? I was scared to death. I thought I'd lose my voice and forget all my lines, but once I got on the stage, it was as though I'd always been there.
I really thought you were excellent, Pat. It was a very strong part to start out on, wasn't it?
Just one of those lucky things. The girl they had got sick in Boston, so I got the part.
Well, you certainly deserved it.
Well, I never expected to be able to do it, but, well, I had the most wonderful director. You know, Claudia, the day I read the part for the first time, I said to myself, this would be just perfect for Claudia Brown.
Oh, don't be silly. I never could have done it.
You always used to beat me to the leads in dramatic school, remember? Oh, the producer's giving a big party in about a half hour. Would you like to come?
Oh, we'd love to, but we couldn't, Pat. We're moving to the country tomorrow, and we better go now, hadn't we, David?
Yes.
Goodbye, Pat.
Goodbye, Pat. Lots of luck.
And thanks millions for the ticket.
Oh, it's been such a rush, but I remembered this afternoon, and I just felt you had to be here, Claudia. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Call me sometime, darling, or drop into a matinee, and we'll have a long chat.
I will. Goodbye.
Good night, Pat.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked me in the part. It's been the most thrilling evening. I just thought I'd die when the curtain went up.
She hasn't changed at all.
No? What did you expect?
I don't know just what I did expect. I just thought that when a person had an opening night playing the ingenue lead in a play that's going to be a hit, that all of a sudden you'd look different and act different and are different.
That's also what people who aren't married think happens to people who get married. Here we are. Be careful of that step, darling.
Yeah. Well, David, was she very beautiful?
I'll let you know a little secret. I like you better.
You do? But wouldn't you like me better if I were glamorous and going to be a big success, a Broadway star?
Darling, I wouldn't like you better. Maybe even not as well.
Pat was a big hit, wasn't she?
Oh, I dare say she'll be off to Hollywood before I get the summer corn planted.
That's a funny comparison. Or is it? So much can happen overnight. Overnight, Pat's become a star. And overnight, we're moving to a farm in Eastbrook, Connecticut.
Would you like to trade places?
Oh, I couldn't possibly have played that part tonight.
Pat seemed to think you could have.
Maybe once, but not anymore. I just don't think I could act anymore. It doesn't matter. I don't have to think about it anymore either.
Only what?
Only nothing. Oh, I like walking in New York at night.
You know, darling, I feel just the way you do.
How do you feel?
Do you think I'm not going to miss New York at night? All the lights. Look at them. Broadway. All the excitement and crowds. Do you think sometimes I'm not going to say to myself, David Naughton, what on earth are you doing up here in Eastbrook? I wish I were walking down First Avenue listening to the tugboats, or driving along Fifth Avenue, seeing New York stretched out against the sky like a brilliant etching.
I almost didn't want to go to the theater tonight. I almost couldn't face it.
I know. That's why I wanted you to go.
That why?
Darling, you mustn't be afraid to look back. All that's been isn't over. We don't have to say goodbye to it. Just take it with you and you can taste it whenever you want to.
That's easier said than done.
Of course it is. Or we'd never have to say it.
Earlier, when you asked me if I was afraid about moving up to Eastbrook tomorrow, I couldn't even answer, David. Now I can. I'm afraid.
That's good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Because I don't feel like such a sissy.
You? Sissy?
You'd be surprised how big a one.
David, listen to the people. The cads, and all of New York. Tomorrow all we'll be hearing are frogs and crickets and birds. David, I wouldn't trade places with Pat for the world. Because now I can't wait for tomorrow.
Many years have passed since the friendly greeting, "Have a Coke," was first exchanged. Today it's become a national and international byword for easy hospitality. And in all that time, the quality of Coca-Cola has never varied. Coke still brings you the pause that refreshes for the refreshingly low price of just 5 cents.
Mr. King, were you at the opening night?
I certainly was. And I think you were grand, Miss Lansing.
Oh, thank you.
I predict a great future for you.
You do? Oh, I'm so excited I can hardly bear to think about it.
You and Claudia were very good friends, weren't you?
Oh, the closest friends. We made all our plans together. It's sort of strange now, thinking of Claudia being married, going to have a baby, and moving to a farm tomorrow.
Well, Claudia's not quite used to the idea herself, but I think she likes it.
Oh, I don't blame her. Sounds wonderful. Really wonderful.
Well, tomorrow's the big day.
Oh, I wish them everything that they want.
We all wish them that.
And tomorrow's their opening night on a farm. I'll keep my fingers crossed for them. Good night, Joe.
Good night, Pat. And congratulations.
April 15th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. If you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss a single show. You can hear our shows at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, also Facebook by searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Or through my webpage, classicradio.com. classicradio.stream. Not only can you stream our shows on demand there, you can also learn more about classic radio collecting. You can contact me as there. All of our social media links are there as well. classicradio.stream. Please thank this station, support their advertisers, and tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.